Hello again to another Agacalero React. Today we will be watching Why Do We Have Grass Lawns from Vox. What can I say about grass lawns? It's something that you can... It's basically grass, that's all. And as far as I'm concerned, I have no garden with grass, or I don't have any garden, I have container garden. So to me, grass was always kind of like, It was always there when I was growing up in the house, because obviously there were, but then we had other parts of, we had like a field, we had some garden, we have garden in front with flowers and all that. So it is different, although recently I've seen some like videos and stuff to kind of post about promoting more of like a natural, like kind of local and native plants instead of grass, because grass is very how to say it, poor in the biodiversity, and in lots of places needs a lot of water as well and taking care of things like that. So I think a lot of times you could just if I would have grass alone, I probably wouldn't be I wouldn't be taking care of that much. I wouldn't be like sad because there's some weeds. I probably would go for something that's actually some kind of low plants that they would be blooming, or like, I don't know, daisies, or even like a dandelion. I really like dandelions. I probably would let them bloom there as well. Anyway, let's just get into it and see why do we have the grass lawns, because it's something that basically doesn't really give us anything. We can't eat it, so I think that's where they'd be going to. So let's just watch.
This is the American dream. A nice house with a lush, green, well-manicured lawn. Lawns take up more land in the US than any individual crop. All told, they account for about 1.3% of the surface area in the continental US, which is an area larger than the state of Louisiana. But the fact is, lawns are anything but natural. It takes a lot of hard work, resources, and money to make a lawn and keep it green. And it's not even a plant that's native to North America. Even Kentucky bluegrass is actually from overseas.
Oh,
so
wow.
I can't help but wonder why it's all you see up and down virtually every street in America. And are there other options than the quintessential green lawn?
There is.
Originally manicured turf grass lawns came about in 18th century England and France. They were the domain of the ultra-privileged members of society, since you were growing something that couldn't be eaten or made into clothes. In America, lawns were popularized by influential figures like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, who both styled their estates after the fashionable British lawns. The ideal of turf grass lawns was furthered by people like landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, who designed massive public parks projects. Central Park, Boston's Fens, as well as parks in Buffalo, Milwaukee, and Chicago. But green, well-manicured lawns remained in the sphere of public parks and the homes of the wealthy because so many people didn't own a house of their own. But that was all about to change. Starting in the 1930s, US government loan programs provided mortgages for over 11 million new homes. The federal government also built 48,000 miles of interstate highways, which enabled Americans to access these shiny new suburban housing developments. Developments like Lakewood, California, a suburban bedroom community where over 17,000 brand new single-family homes sprang up.
To many, Lakewood was paradise.
Lawns were heavily marketed to this new middle class of suburbanites as luxurious reflections of status. They told you that if you had a beautiful lawn, it meant that you were a smart, modern American. One magazine article at the time said it was, quote, the biggest lawn boom of all time. It is literally spreading all over and has become, in fact, much more than a ground cover. It is an emotion that has blossomed into a status symbol.
I'll be totally honest, I've never owned a lawn. So I don't even know where you would start to make a lawn that looks like this.
I called Dr. Nick Christians.
It's a
He
lot of
literally
work, yeah.
wrote the book on growing turf grass.
Hold that up again. If you've got your timing right and you know a little bit about what you're doing, you can do it with very little effort.
Digging through his book, let's see. You should start by testing your soil. It says to do it every 3 to 5 years, or when your lawn is not up to snuff. Then you gotta fertilize. He says the ideal is 3 to 5 times annually. Then you gotta water the lawn. He suggests twice a week.
Fescue, crop spreader, pre-emergence herbicides.
Point being, it's a lot.
The average American spends about 65 hours a year on lawn and garden care. And all this lawn care uses up lots and lots of resources. Lawnmowers in the US use 1.2 billion gallons of gasoline every single year. And it takes 1 to 2 inches of water a week to keep your lawn lush and green, which for 1,000 square foot
He
lawn,
really doesn't know how
that's
to
over
do it if
10,000
he's
gallons a
watering
summer.
alone like that.
In a more arid region like here in California, a single family can use up to 87,000 gallons a year just to water their lawn and garden.
That's
the
a
same
lot
amount of
of
water as
water.
4 home swimming pools. And all this lawn and garden equipment emits tens of millions of tons of pollutants into the environment every year. So turf grass is by far the most common lawn covering, but it seems like it's maybe not the most environmentally
No, it's
friendly
not.
option. So I had to wonder, if you don't want a turf grass lawn, but you also don't want an overgrown meadow like this, what should you do?
I would not say that I'm anti-lawn, but I'm anti-lack of a better idea and thinking about what you want your space to actually do and serve you and your community.
Sarah is one of the people trying to figure that out. She's a landscape designer in San Diego, and I decided to drive down to talk to her. She showed me some of the projects she's worked on where she converted grass yards to more useful, ecologically minded gardens. And she showed me a few of their key benefits.
Pretty much 99% of my clients want low maintenance and low water. So picking those plants isn't really hard. There's a lot of California-friendly plants, California native plants that do well with that. Treating your front yard maybe even more like a backyard where you have places to sit, you have things to interact with, you have a variety of things can actually really be great for a community. A space like this offers a lot more interaction for kids. There's so many things that are tangible here that if a kid kicks this around, they're not ruining your yard. You just push it back.
Cities across the US are actually paying people to convert their lawns from turf grass to more sustainable low water use landscapes. Here in LA, you can get up to $25,000.
Sometimes I think we try to stick to these perfect yards and, we're like, don't touch it, don't interact, but isn't that the opposite of the point?
For so long, this is what people envisioned when they thought of the American dream. And for some, maybe it is.
It's the satisfaction of how it looks when you're doing it right. When you get it right, it really looks great. Everybody comes by and wants to know what you did and how you did it.
But for others, the American dream might be a yard that requires less work, comprised of plants that are actually native and that's better for the environment. Maybe it's time we reimagine what the American dream can look like.
It's a really good idea. If I ever had the house or something like that, I probably would want to be having like a... I'm saying that now because obviously that's not going to happen now. Who knows, maybe someday, but I probably wouldn't be having that much of a lawn, like just actually, like proper thing. There are some plants that they could work like a grass, but they kind of more friendly and they better. Like I think there's I can't come up with the names right now. So yeah. Anyway. What do you think about those manicured lawns? Do you like the look of them? Because I mean, like sometimes it's like the man said, if they done right, it looks really nice. But if it's not, then it's a kind of like an eyesore when that grass getting really dry and yellow and brown and stuff like that. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.